going to share my introduction to the Pan That Palette Challenge. So last year I watched a lot of different YouTubers sharing their progress on the Pan That Palette Challenge, and I got really interested in it, but I didn't get into project panning until probably halfway through 2016, so I just never kind of jumped in. But I thought I would do one this year. And just a little bit of a backstory, I had selected a different palette and I used it for about 2 weeks at the beginning of January, and it just did not perform like I wanted it to. So it was a MAC limited edition palette from Nordstrom. It was $80. It has a lot of, I bought it because it has so many MAC shadows that are iconic, like Wedge and All That Glitters and Carbon. It's a huge palette. But I've used it and they were really hard, really dry, didn't blend very well. And I don't know if that's the majority of MAC shadows in general, even if you get them as singles. But after now using it for 2 weeks, I regret that purchase, even though I didn't really use it when I first bought it, which is regrettable because I could have probably returned it if I really got some good use out of it when I initially bought it in 2015. So I'm trying to decide what to do with that palette, whether to sell it or to just give it or donate it to, you know, somewhere around here, or give it to a family member or friend. So I did decide to pan, I'm actually going to pan 2 palettes. One's a face palette and one is an eyeshadow palette. So I decided to go with the Naked palette, and my decision to move from the MAC palette to this is because this is my oldest palette in my collection. It's going on probably 6 years old, maybe. And I have gotten quite a bit of use out of this, actually. This was my first high-end palette that I ever bought. It was a huge, you know, I had a huge decision-making process involved when I bought this, because at the time, you know, $50 was so expensive, and it was really before I got into like my makeup, you know, problem that I currently have. So I'll insert a close-up picture of this, but I have already hit pan on Naked, and then a very tiny bit of pan on Sin here. So I think I can use up Sin, Naked, Buck completely by the end of the year, because they're such neutral shades that I can wear every day, even when I'm not really doing like, you know, a heavy eye look. And that's actually what I'm wearing today on my lids, which you can't even really tell because it's so like neutral. I've been getting a lot of use out of Toasted and Hustle just because I do like a smoky purple eye. I think in the summer, the more bronzy shades and the gold half-baked shade, I'll get a lot of use out of then. The 2 shades that I don't expect to hit pan on or use up is Creep and Gunmetal. I don't like those shades. Oh, and Sidecar. I don't like that shade either. Those 3 shades I'm not a big fan of, and so I'm not even going to really try and pan those. I might, you know, incorporate them as liner, or, you know, a glittery, you know, middle of the lid type shade or something like that for Sidecar, but I'm not going to break my back to try and use those up. But everything else I am going to try and either hit pan on or use up all the way by the end of 2017. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've been enjoying using it, I guess, over the past week and a half since I decided to pan that. The other palette I want to use up, it's going to have a lot of glare on it, is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit palette. This is an $80 palette. They came out with something similar in 2016 that's marbled, but I think it had 1 extra powder in it. Or wait, maybe it had 1 less powder in it. I can't remember, but because I got suckered into this in 2015, I was not getting suckered into that one in 2016 because this is an expensive palette and I don't think it's worth it. But I do want to get good use out of it. They are nice powders. I love this one right here, which it's either dim light or diffuse light. I don't know why I am getting my PhD, and yet I'm having a difficult time figuring out which shade is which. But I think this is diffuse light. It's more of the yellowy type shade, because luminous bronze light is right underneath it. So I'm going to say this is diffuse light. My goal is to completely use this up because I do use it as a all over finishing powder, and it looks really nice, especially when you're kind of going out and doing a little bit more with your makeup. I'd like to use up the entirety of the bronze light as well. It is a nice bronzer. And I would like to hit pan on Mood Exposure and Luminous Flush, which are the, what am I trying to say? The blushes in this palette. These two up here, which I'm assuming are Dim Light and Iridescent Light. I know the middle one is Iridescent Light. And then this one right here, I kind of swirl a brush across both of them and use them as a highlight, but they're kind of glittery. I don't know if anyone has, you know, I've heard so many great things about the Hourglass powders, but I feel like there's a lot of shimmer and glitter when I put it on my face, and I'm like, oh, I don't like that look. Like, you know, I'm reaching 30, I turned 30 this week actually, and I don't need a whole bunch of glitter on my face. So, and sometimes I find that with this finishing powder as well. But I want to get good use out of this, maybe move this out of my collection by the end of this year. And I've gotten, since I decided to start using this at the beginning of January, I've gotten a good bit of use out of it. So I think if I can consistently use it throughout the year, I should be able to meet my goals on this. And I'm sorry if that, I hope that mirror did not blind you the entire time. I'll see. So now my cat is scratching at the door and getting on my nerves, so I'm going to go let her in. And I hope you enjoyed. If you are panning a palette for 2017, let me know which one you're panning in the comments down below. And if you make YouTube videos or have an Instagram account on this type of topic, definitely leave it down below, because I definitely would like to follow you if I don't already. So I hope everyone had a great 3-day weekend and are getting ready to get back into the work week. So I'll see you next time.